Hey Major on the internet, my name's Matt and welcome to today's video. It is 5 budget decks for the format of Pioneer. So without further ado, before I get on with the video, let me just say Merry Christmas to all you great subscribers and people watching the video and future subscribers that are no doubtly just pressing that button right now because you found a great MTG channel. Now, you know this is the Christmas period, so you know it slows down a little bit now for us creators, but I will try and get some videos out just after Christmas for you. As many of you know, I've just moved into my new place, so I'm just beginning to get the train going again and start getting the old content out. So, these are 5 decks. Now, I had a look at the meta, and a lot of so-called top decks were ranging between $700, $800, $900. Now that is mental prices. So I thought it's good because everyone loves a budget deck. All these decks are under $200, which I think is budget for this type of format. Not budget as in like $10 decks. But I've got 3 decks that are under $100 in this list. So basically we're going to start off with the highest costed deck, which is White Black Zombies. So this deck comes in at $157, and it appeals to people that love playing tribal sort of decks, or people that like the colours of Orzhov. The money in this deck is in the lands. You've got playsets of Concealed Courtyard, Goddess Shrine, Isolated Chapel, Temple of Silence. It runs a Cave of Kalios, but there's not too many basics in this configuration of White Black Zombies. Lots of early mana creatures like Crypt Breaker, Foulmoor Knight, Stitches Supplier that work very well, get stuff into your graveyard and stuff like that. Supplier is a nice card, but they're all pretty low powered. Foulmoor Knight is a nice new addition though. Draw a card, use love, where you get to use the adventure theme of it. And then we've got some strong 2 mana cards like Corpse Knight, Wayward Servant, and they all build into cards like Diagraph Colossus and Nantuko Husk. Nantuko Husk is a bit of a win con for this deck in conjunction with Rally the Ancestors. You're sacking creatures, then potentially getting back Rally Ancestors and do it again in another turn, or maybe the same turn if you can, to get in that win with Nantuko Husk. You just need to get it on there, protect it, hopefully if you can, and hopefully you just won't die, and you'll be able to get in for the win. There's sideboards with all these cards as well, but what you notice from a lot of these cards, they've recently been in standard, so it does mean that you will potentially have a lot of these cards already in your collection, like a lot of these decks. The next deck we look at is Mono Green Stompy for around $140 for this configuration. A lot of, good. The money in this one is from the recent standard cards. We've got Lovestruck Beast in there. Steelleaf Champions just left, obviously. But the Great Henge is a nice expensive card. And you've got Castle Garenbrig, the land as well, that will add a little bit of value to pump it up a little bit. But other than that, there's still cards here that were just either left standard or cards that are in standard recently. There's not many that are, really, really old standard cards, shall I say. Which is what Pioneer's about, sometimes turning old standard, really good decks that you enjoyed into Pioneer decks. So this is all about ramping. So if you like ramping into big stompy creatures, this will be the deck for you. Elvish Mystic, Llanowar Elves to get into those 3 mana big, strong creatures. Lovestruck Beast, a 5/5 for 3. Does need a little 1/1 on the field though to attack. Steelleaf Champion, a 5/4 for 3 as well. You're getting all these big creatures in there, Yorvo as well, and they lead into Gauta Primal Hunger, which is your big 12/12. The Great Henge makes them come in with counters potentially. You can add the mana to add life as well, and then a combat trick in something like Aspect of Hydra that just gets your win from absolutely nowhere. There's little bits in the sideboard because all these decks do have sideboards included in the price as well. You've got Rex Sage, Feed the Clan to gain life, helps you against any speedy aggro decks like Mono Red or anything like that. It's just a various small board of really good cards. Mono Green Stompy is definitely one of my favourite kind of decks, and it really is fun to play. So let's get on to 3 decks now that are under $100. And we're starting off with Mono Blue Devotion. As you can see, it's all islands. No special lands really. It's got 1 Castle, Vantris. But other than that, there's no money in that at all. So the land base is going to be very cheap for you to put together. This is all about Devotion. Cloudfin Raptor, Siren Storm, and you can have a little bit of counterspell magic in there as well, and a couple of creatures with flash like Merfolk Trickster. Harbinger of the Tides is really cool. And your win cons are either getting a Curious Obsession onto one of these creatures, like you've seen in standard over many years. Mono Blue was really, really good. Counterspell back up with the Retort. But you've got your Tempest Djinn and Master of Waves, which is a creature that I adored when it was in standard, in Theros standard. Love it. That is a really good win con. But Tempest Djinn, we've got the evasion in this deck. Cloudfin Raptor, Siren, the Djinn. They're all flyers, Spectral Sailor. So you can fly over the top and do a bit of evasion. This deck is great. Loads of counter magic in the sideboard. Like, Dispute, Negate, Spell Pierce. It's a mono blue player's dream. So there's no wonder I like it. Now we have 2 decks at $79, starting off with White Weenie, another tribal deck, so like the zombies, but practically half the price. This is human White Weenies. So Boros Elite, Dauntless Bodyguard, you've got so many 1-drops in this, Soldier of Pantheon, you will literally just drop your hand, Mardu, Woe Reaper, and then you want to be playing, you know, turn 3 potentially, the Thales Lieutenant and the Benelish Marshal to pump up every other creature. You're going in for quick damage here, you need to win quick because you will just drop your hand. You've got Protection in Brave the Elements, Declaration in Stone for a bit of removal. And then in the sideboard, you've got, you know, a bit more removal, a bit more protection, Selfless Spirit, Artifact removal and stuff like that. Deafening Silence to slow down any combo or mass spell producing decks. This is a really cool deck as well. At $79, you're going to get a competitive White Weenie deck that you could potentially even play in Modern, as my friend Taylor on the channel. You won't know who Taylor is, but he will be watching this and he knows he loves this deck. The final deck is for all you lovely people that love to play red and green. So this deck is all based around Pummeler, but it can win other ways. You want to amass loads and loads of energy. You got Long Toss Cub, the Brawler, loads of different ways, Bristling Hydra, Attune with the Ether. There's so many different ways to get energy with this deck. And then you want to get in and just use it all on your Pummeler and potentially use like a Team or Battle Rage, become immense, just make it absolutely huge, give it trample, 1 attack win. This is what this deck can do. Even for $79, we've still got Stomping Grounds in there. We've got Rootbound Crabs and the energy-based land in Ether Hub as well. This is a really cool deck. Synergistic is what it's all about. And then you've got special old cards like Gore Clan Rampager that can be used for the Blood Rush, discarding it and then just using that +4/4 and gaining trample. That's what you want to do. People will obviously, potentially try to attempt to put an electric pummeler and just blocking it with a 1/1. If you can get in there with the double strike, something like Team or Battle Rage, give it the trample, and then it's GG's. So there's 5 budget decks for you. You know, 3 under $100, which I think is super budget for for Pioneer, and a couple just over that could be I'm not saying they're any more competitive, but it just gives you a varied amount of colours and different types of decks and strategies that you will be able to use for this really cool format, and hopefully get you in there, you beginners to Pioneers too. It is really fun to play. I keep saying it. It's because I love it. I do love this format, and I love brewing around this format. And here's 5 decks for you, not too expensive, that you will be able to just go and pick up and then go and play at your LGS. I will say again, make sure you have a cracking Christmas. Let me all know what you get. Any MTG sweet gifts that you get over Christmas, stuck it in the chat there, and I will always try and comment and reply to every comment I get. So I appreciate everyone that does comment on the videos. Liking it is a great way to support us, and obviously subscribing helps as well. Anyway, you lot take care, and I will see you on the next video.